This morning, President Biden is making his way to Florida to survey the damage left behind after Hurricane Milton. The president is expected to arrive in Tampa around 9:30 this morning, and he will be participating in an aerial tour. The goal of today's trip is to help push Congress to provide more money from FEMA before the November 5th election. Biden has stated ahead of his visit that Hurricane Milton has caused an estimated $50 billion in damages, and that funding will be critical in Florida's long road to recovery. I want to show you a look at some of the damage left behind from some of the hardest hit communities. You can see people cleaning up here following that damage. Right now, many areas look like this, and some are even dealing with a fuel shortage, and at least 1 million people are still without power this morning. CBS News Miami's Steve Majuri explains the dire situation in St. Petersburg.
The mayor of St. Petersburg called this a 1-2 punch. The city is still recovering from Helene, but now on top of that, they have to clean up the debris from Milton. This is what's left of Melissa M's mother's garden. She grew tired of waiting for someone to pick it up.
You'll be waiting a very long time if you don't do it yourself.
She dropped it off at this new site set up by St. Petersburg since many other dumps are filling up. Milton ripped off the roof of Tropicana Field and caused this crane to collapse in downtown St. Petersburg. City officials are also still busy cleaning up the mess Hurricane Helene left behind.
This is new territory, this 1-2 punch of, trying to collect record debris from Helene, which would be several months, and now we've got Milton on top of it. And after many people gassed up ahead of the storm, reserves are running low. Some gas stations are opening up, but they needed police to coordinate the long lines.
Actually, somebody had to bring me gas in order to sit in line to get gas.
And the state set up this free gas distribution center. You could wait in line to fill up your car or your cans. It didn't cost Perry Johnson a dime, but it did cost him time.
6 hours and 43 minutes. And I'm on E, so it's right on time.
He didn't expect that kind of a wait, but his low gas tank couldn't wait.
Somebody said, hey, there's gas at Tropicana. So I left what I was doing because I was already on a quarter of a tank. It came in and I made it.
There are also a number of streets that are still washed out and just not drivable, so officials have had to close them off. They're covered in debris and flood water, and the city of St. Petersburg is still under a boil water advisory. We're told that about 30 water lines have been knocked out due to downed trees, but one of the main causes of all these headaches the last couple of days is the fact that the power isn't on. That's what powers street lights and these gas pumps at gas stations. Governor DeSantis had said that some of these gas stations do have gas, but they can't pump it unless there's electricity to power all of the machinery behind it. And that's why the state has set up a number of these gas distribution centers like the one behind me. This one that was running all day on Saturday is going to open up again on Sunday, and it's going to run from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. In St. Petersburg, Steve Majiri, CBS News, Miami.
And like Steve mentioned, Governor Ron DeSantis says the state is sitting on an inventory of 1 million gallons of gas, and that is why they opened up those 3 fuel depots so that people can get gas.
These public fuel sites, although we have done fuel support in the past, we've never done it to this scale, and that is on top of the amount of fuel that we provided directly to service stations.
And President Biden does plan to meet with Governor Ron DeSantis today while he is in town to visit. Now to Longboat Key, which is just a little south of Tampa on the coast. They were hit with the brunt of this storm as Hurricane Milton made landfall Wednesday night. People there are working to clean up from the damaging winds that reached 110 miles per hour. It toppled trees, debris is everywhere, and this is just the second blow to the island after damage caused by Hurricane Helene just 2 weeks before. I spoke with Longboat Key's town manager Howard Tipton, and I asked him about where things stand with power outages and water service there.
We're about 60% restored on power, and that's not enough for us to turn on the water system. We anticipate turning on the water system tomorrow. The water's okay. It's the wastewater system that needs the power. And so we think by the end of tomorrow, we'll have most of the island powered and water and wastewater back online.
He also said it could take the island 3 months to clear out remaining debris left behind by both hurricanes. But I asked about this community's resilience and how they were doing despite all of this. And Tipton says they're standing together and they feel fortunate that Milton was not worse. People all across South Florida are showing their compassion to those impacted by Hurricane Milton. Many are looking to help ease the burden. CBS News Miami's Nikaya Carrero is telling us what organizations say they need to help effectively.
With 2 major hurricanes hitting Florida within 2 weeks, nonprofits are working overtime, like Farm Share, who has been nonstop since Helene and now Milton.
It's become a challenge for my staff. It's more difficult in terms of finding supplies, food products. You've got fatigue setting in with the staff, but they're rising to the occasion.
Saturday alone, Farm Share had 5 trucks deploy and won't be slowing down.
Since this Hurricane Milton made landfall, we've distributed over 940,000 pounds of food into different areas affected by the storm. I think that's probably 19 different counties.
They're not alone, as Global Empowerment Mission is also kicking humanitarian work into full gear.
So we have a warehouse set up in Tampa. We're going to be sending aid up there. There's a truck heading out right now. We're going to continue doing that and still preparing. GEM basically prepositions. We try to stay prepared for any kind of disaster, whether it's natural, whether it's man-made. So we're just going to be there.
Items that are welcomed are non-perishable food items like canned goods, diapers, hygiene products, pet food, baby food, and flashlights. Items they say aren't really usable are clothes, toys, and used blankets. GEM volunteer Heather Murdoch says giving her time is the least she could do. She drove down from Melbourne before Milton hit.
It's like the whole many hands make light the work. So this is the concept that they have to, and so it's the same thing in the community if we all just kind of chip in.
They're not just collecting food and hygiene products here at GEM, they're also putting together dignity kits like this one you see on your screen. It includes makeup and skincare products, giving people a little boost during this hard time.
It's just so thoughtful. I only planned on coming to volunteer for one day, and I stay overnight, and I ended up being for like 4 days.
GEM has also partnered with Miami Carnival and soca artist Michelle Montano to raise funds. They will be donating proceeds from this weekend's shows toward donation efforts.
We have partnered with them through an organization called Caribbean Strong in the past for many hurricanes, volcanoes, and we're just trying to do our civic duty and help out those in need.
In Doral, Nikaya Carrero, CBS News, Miami.
Neighbors for Neighbors is also organizing to assist the victims of Hurricane Milton. If you want to volunteer or donate, just scan the QR code at the top of your screen, or you can head to their website, neighborsforneighbors.org/Hurricane Milton. CBS and the American Red Cross are also teaming up to provide food and shelter. Donate today by going to redcross.org/CBS, or you can call 1-800-RED-CROSS.